Hey guys, hey, good evening, good evening. Yes, I know that I am late and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being late. But before I apologize, welcome each and everyone, wherever you're coming from. Welcome if you're coming from Africa, if you're coming from Europe, North America, South America, if you're coming from Asia, Antarctica, Oceanic, which of the seven, whichever one of the seven continents you're coming from. Good night, good night. Yes, I have been waiting on my guest for a while, and I have not heard from my guest. I hope he is okay. My guest was supposed to be Mr. Allan Skillcole, of course, a veteran footballer for Jamaica. I was supposed to be having a chat with him tonight, but I have been trying to reach him and I have not been able to get through to him. So I hope that he is okay. He was supposed to be my special guest tonight because I do have a segment where I have special guests from other sport and he was supposed to be on tonight. I have not seen or heard from him, so I am just hoping that he is okay wherever it is. So I could not have you leave you guys hanging. So I decided to come and apologize. I am sorry. I'm sorry that my guest is. I have been waiting on him for more than an hour, and it's now 8:45. Normally I start at 8 o'clock. It's now 8:45, and I called, I messaged, nothing. So let us all keep our fingers crossed that he is okay, and I will hear from him soon, whether later or tomorrow. But my guest will not be here tonight, so I'm just here to say hi and to chit chat a little bit. I did not just want to disappear on you guys, and Josiah, if you're watching, good night to you, sir. My 9-year-old fan. He's my biggest baby fan. Yes, he watch every Thursday night. So Josiah in New Jersey, good night to you, sir. How you guys doing? How has your week been? I've been having a great week so far. God is good, God is wonderful and merciful, and I've been having a good week so far. So I hope that you all have been having a great week also. So I maybe I'll be joined by someone, by a friend who is. We're just going to chit chat and freestyle if he joins because he realized that my guest will not be coming on tonight. So hopefully he will join me and we're just going to talk a little bit. Of course, it will be about track and field. But welcome everyone. I see Bonnie M, 1972, 1976 Olympian. She has been on from before I went live. She was on. Monica Lewis also has been there. I've been watching the comment section and I noticed that they have been there before I actually went live. Margaret Bell, welcome, Margaret Bell. She's saying good evening to all. So, guys, if you are just joining, I've been waiting on my guest for more than an hour. I have not heard from him, so I'm hoping that he is okay. My guest tonight was supposed to be Mr. Allan Skillcole, and maybe some of you would be too young to know who this gentleman is, but he is one of Jamaica's football legend from way back in the day before many of us were born. He was supposed to be on tonight too, just to tell us a little bit about his legacy, his journey as a football player. He went to Very Technical, he went to Kingston College, he went to Campion College, and he was also very good friends with Bob Marley, which I really wanted us to talk about his relationship with Bob Marley and being Bob Marley's road manager and back in the days. But I am, as I said before, I'm not able to reach him. I'm hoping that he is okay. So if there's anyone that know Mr. Allan Skillcole, please just check on him for me and let me know that he's okay because he was supposed to be coming on tonight. And of course, I have not seen him and I have not heard anything from him. So if there's anyone that is in the chat, in the comment section, and you want to join in to have a chat with me, of course, I will just share the link and you can come on and we can talk a little bit about track and field, whatever you want us to discuss, especially as a concern fan. So if you want to join, let me know and I'll share the link. If not, I'll just chit chat a little bit and then I will go until next week. But next week I'll have a very interesting guest on next week. Of course, this guest that I'll have on next week, he is, of course, in the track and field industry, but he is a member of the Masters League. Yes, track and field does have a Masters League, and this gentleman that will be coming on next week, he is a part of the Masters League, and he is also a little genius. He is a bookworm, of course. A mathematician, yes, a mathematician. Yeah, let us call it that. He is very much into mathematics, and he teaches mathematics here in the United States. And of course, he is going for a PhD in math. Who I don't know, but I've never heard this before. Someone doing a PhD in math. That is just crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, Margaret Bell is asking a question. She is saying, what are the biggest challenges athletes face when preparing for major competition? That's a very good question, Margaret. Don't you want to join me on the program, Margaret? But that question that you're asking is, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit that athletes have told me. I've heard many athletes said, one of their the biggest challenges that they face in preparation for major competition is sponsorship, having a sponsor to take care of their expenses in terms of nutrition, in terms of paying their therapist to be able to have a physical therapist, to be able to have a sports psychologist. Those are some of the challenges they face. So one of their biggest challenge is having the finances in order to pay the people that they need in order to get them ready in terms of coaching, as I said before, nutrition, therapists, the different types of therapists that you'll need. Some of the therapists that athletes do work with is sports psychologists, performance psychologists, nutritionist is another one that is a very, very big part of it. Nutrition, Margaret, is one of the biggest challenge I know that some of our athletes face because they have to eat properly. The eating properly is a big part of being an athlete. You have to take care of your body. You have to be mindful of what goes into your body. And, you know, that's a big part of it. And Miss Dorothy Scott is on. Dorothy Scott Genius is right there. She was an athlete herself, competed for Jamaica at the highest level. She was at the 1984 Olympic Games herself. So, maybe she can even answer this question. But based on what I know, Margaret, that athletes have told me is that one of their biggest problems in preparing for major championship is proper nutrition. Proper nutrition is one of the biggest challenge they have. And if they do not have a sponsor, it is kind of hard for them to eat properly to get the right nutrition. So that is one of the biggest challenge I know that they face in the sport. So guys, again, as I said before, Dorothy Scott is saying hi HP and everyone else. I hope your guest shows up soon. I hope so too. I keep checking my phone and nothing. Yeah, nothing from my guest. So as I said before, I'm hoping that he is okay. Allan Skill Cole was supposed to be here tonight as a special guest. I'm not able to get him on his phone. So let us just keep our fingers crossed that he is okay. He is okay. I just want to get a message that he's okay. So I'm hoping he is fine. Dorothy Scott Genius, welcome, welcome. And I couldn't just disappear on you guys. I had to come here and apologize for my guest not being here. And I'm not sure what it is, but we spoke last night. Up to last night, we had conversations. So, and I have not been able to get him all day. So let's hope he's all right. Any other question, Margaret? As I said before, guys, if there is anyone who wants to join, you can join me. See, I even had his thing up for him to be here tonight, Mr. Allan. He's in the background right there. He was supposed to be joining me, but I am not hearing from him, so I don't know what's happening there. I'm just hoping he's fine. But I hope you all have been having a great week so far, as I said before. Hope you've been having a great week. And yeah, any other question, Margaret? Anybody else have any question? Not too hard though, please. Not too hard. Not too hard. Someone is supposed to be joining me. I'm not sure if he'll be coming, but I just jotted down some questions that I would want to share, or I wanted us to freestyle just to get an understanding from or another perspective of someone else. And guess what? One of the question is, what would be if you were the president of the J3s, name the vital positions that you would set up in order to execute your plans for the federation. So that is a question that I have on my paper. Okay, Margaret is saying I think she have another question. She said, thank you, HP. She said, you touch all the major challenges: finances, support on nutrition, and mental health. I want to add balancing intensity and recovery to prevent injuries. And I totally agree with you, Margaret. And this is why it is so difficult for athletes without a sponsor. It is so difficult for them to do it without money, because you have to pay if you need all these people on your team, you will have to pay them. And you're right, having a system to prevent injuries, recovery and prevent injuries, because we have so many athletes that are injured. Season after season, we see them and they are injured. And you ask the question, why is it that they cannot get over their injuries? And I don't know if a part of it is because they do not have the money, they don't have the funding to see the right doctors. And we can call names of the injuries that that are impacting our sport or our athletes in Jamaica. It is a whole lot, and every season they turn up, they are injured. So some athletes are injury prone, some athletes get injured during competition, but the training is not easy, Margaret. The training, I've spoken to athletes and I've heard that the training is hard and it takes a toll on the body. We're not just talking about the mental now, but the physical part of the body. It can cause your the physical side of you to deteriorate. I have a very close friend who is a jumper, and now she's having problems with her knees. She retired from the sport and she's having knee problem. And a part of it is, deterioration of the, years of jumping, years of training, the rigorous training that they have to go through. So you are right, Margaret. It takes money to do everything. And believe me, there's so many of our athletes that are without sponsorship. I wonder how they go through the sport, how they feed themselves, how they pay their bills, how they there's so many things. And if you don't have the money to do it, then it is problematic for you. Dorothy Scott Genius, as I said, retired track and field athlete. She too she was a sprinter and she was also a long jumper. And she says, you have answered the question well, HP. I'll just add trying to stay injury free. So there you go. It is all about having the money. All right, let's see. All right, somebody is trying to join me. All right, they're saying Allan will be on. Okay, Rainford is saying Allan will be on in 3 to 4 minutes. Let's see if this is. All right, let's see if we have somebody here joining.
Are you hearing me? Testing. Are you hearing me? One, two, three.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Good, good, good. He'll be coming on in about 3 minutes. All right.
Yeah, awesome. Can you just turn your phone in a landscape mode like this, please?
Okay, no problem.
All right, beautiful,
That's
beautiful,
better.
beautiful. Okay, beautiful. That's
All
better.
right.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
All right.
beautiful. All right, guys. So our guest, Mr. Allan Skill Cole, will be joining us. I'm super excited. So he'll be joining us in 3 minutes. So while we wait, all right, while we wait, I'm just going to wait. Okay, all right, let's see. All right, is this Ryan?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right, Ryan, I'm going to ask you just to bring your camera down a little bit. It's too much up in the ceiling. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome.
All right.
Awesome. I like that, guys. So we're actually going to get to have a chat with Mr. Allan. With Mr. Allan.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan.
All right, they're coming.
Okay, thank you, guys. We're going to get to speak with Mr. Allan, and thank you all for being so patient. Thank you all for being patient and just hanging around a bit. And this is why I appreciate you guys so much for hanging around. And of course, I hope the little chit chat that we had earlier was informative. But the great Allan Skillcole is going to be in the building in a little bit. Let us just give him some time, guys. He will be here, and of course, our prayers have been answered. Thank you very much, Rainford Hunter, for getting Mr. Allan for us. Tony P, welcome, 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 welcome. Mr. Allan.
Good night. Night. How are
Good.
you doing?
I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I have to give thanks, you know. I'm doing fine.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And we're just going to get right into the discussion because we're like an hour behind. So, we just want to get into it. Welcome to the show, Mr. Allan. Welcome to HP Chat Trap. My name is HP. You can call me HP. What do you want me to call you, sir?
Alan, anything you want to call me.
Alan. Okay. I don't feel too good saying just Alan. Is it
Say
okay to
skill. Say
say
skill.
Skill? Okay, okay, skill. You hear that, guy? Skill. Alan Skill Code, welcome, sir. But let us just get right into it. Sport is a big part of our culture. How did you started out as a little boy? Because I'm sure that you maybe started out as a little boy, but at what age did you start playing football?
Well, at about 5 years of age, my
Wow.
father started taking me to the to the field on
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays, and he used to give me the ball, and he had me on the side of the football field, kicking with my right foot and my left foot and this is on Saturday. He said right foot, left foot, right foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. So it all started there, and I had this passion for the game. But I also played because my father was an avid sportsman, sports person, I should say. So I would play cricket, a little cricket too, and I would do a lot of swimming. I was swimming when I was by the time I was 7, I was able to swim. So all these things was because I was nurtured by my father at a tender age. So I sort of developed into something like what you call it. My father thought I was special. He said when I was a little boy. So
You were an all-rounder, Mr. Allen.
yeah, well, I played cricket, I played football, and I said I swim, and I
Mm-hmm.
did like a track and things like that too. So.
Awesome, awesome. Where in Jamaica are you from originally? Which
Well,
area?
I was born in Central Kingston. So when I grew up at what they call Fleet Street in those days in the 50s, early 50s, 1950. Fleet Street, that's below. I don't know if you know you're acquainted with Fleet Street.
No,
It's
I'm not. Where
Central
in
Kingston. Okay, it's where let me see now. How can I say that? East Queen Street.
A little bit.
Okay,
Sadly, a little bit, yeah.
okay. You know General Penitentiary.
No, sir.
Okay, it's in that area that I grew up in.
Is that in the
Central
Dunkirk?
Kingston.
Is that in the Dunkirk area?
No, 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 no. That's Dunkirk is more east. Central is more central, going to like we're going to Central Police Station. That area going that area, that Central Kingston area. So it's like down below where you have the Arbor Street, where they have the banks and all those things. That's part of
Okay.
Kingston. So
Okay.
that's where I was grew up as a little boy. Those days we had it was like how it looks today. We had what do you call it? We had what do you call land where there's no what do you call that big bypass road that goes past the general penitentiary and the one that run parallel to the north to south from the general penitentiary. Those were areas that used to be when we were little boys. Used to fly kite and play around over there, and
Mm-hmm.
all those areas beyond that was areas that were swimming areas. It was just one open land in those days. So we had fields and all those things over there. So we had a lot of recreational youngsters in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was that area? Just to tell us a little bit, some of us who are a little younger, what was that area of Kingston like back in those days as it relates to recreation, crime, that kind of thing?
Well, first you must in that period of time, we didn't have much crime in those areas. What we had there, we had a lot of recreation because there was a famous dance hall on Fleet Street that on Fridays and Saturday nights, people from all areas of uh, Kingston and would come there at on Fridays and Saturday nights. It was the one of the most renowned dance hall in those days. They used to call it barbecue and Fleet
Mm-hmm.
Street. So it was, that Friday and Saturday night events down those places was something special for the people in that area and part of West Kingston and East Kingston. So growing up in that area, as I said, in those days, they had a lot of recreation there because even about the place, the dance hall, they used to have a lot of contests there. You used to have children used to go there and did hula hoop and all those there. A lot of things took place there in those days. So we had a lot
Jamaica
of
is
recreation
nice.
for the youngsters there.
Jamaica is nice in those days.
It was really a nice place in those days. Yeah, and as I said, crime was not major
Mm-hmm.
um, what you call obstacle
Mm-hmm.
in that period of time. We live openly in those areas. People didn't go into your houses in those areas. You know.
Wow, awesome, awesome. But tell me a little bit. You have been to quite a few high schools in Jamaica, some of the top high schools in Jamaica. Your first stop was where? Was it at Kingston College?
Yes, I went to Kingston College when I passed my entrance. I went to Kingston College at 11 years of age.
Tell me about your journey at Kingston College. You went to Kingston College 19. Okay, okay. Mr. Cole, are you
Well,
there? Okay.
so at Kingston College, I started playing coach football. Uh, as a matter of fact, when I went to Kingston College, as a first summer, I was only the first summer that played on the coach team, both cricket and football. So I started my what do you call it now my
You
high
started in
school
sports?
football career.
Okay,
then
okay.
and there. And we had a very famous coach football team at Kingston College in that time, in that period of time, which was the drawing card in football at the school at that time. Because we weren't well, in that period of time, we weren't dominating Manning Cup. But the
Mm-hmm.
coach football team had such talent, and when that team played, everybody came out and watched that team when we were playing. So it all started there. So I started there, and you know,
And then from there
did did some what they call it now, did some had a good spell there playing coach football,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
started
And
getting
then
very popular at school at that time playing soccer. And then after 2 years, I left Kingston College. I got a mix up in school. So I was transferred to Campion College.
to Campion.
I
Tell me
spent a
about
year
your
and a half
journey
at
at
Campion
Campion.
College. And then I went to Very
Mm-hmm.
Technical,
How did
1965.
you?
And then
Oh yeah, you
it was
went
an
to very
explosion
technical
after that.
19.
So
But
Very
how did
Technical won
you,
the man
Mr.
in the
Cole?
Costa Cup 65, the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a school outside of Cornwall, Monroe, had won the Costa Cup.
Yeah.
And my career just went straight on to a different level after that. I played the national team just after that. Um, my 15th birthday uh, in January 66.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a national player at about when I was about 15 years and 3 months or something like that. So
Let me ask you something, Mr. Cole. Are
it
you
all
hearing me?
started there.
Mr. Cole, are you hearing me okay? Hello? Mr. Cole, are you hearing me?
That year, you know.
Check your connection. Are you hearing
Hello?
me? Check. Are you hearing me?
Let me ask you.
Hello. Are you hearing me, Mr. Cole? He's not hearing me, guys.
Leave this, leave.
Check,
But,
check,
yeah.
check. Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Hello? All right, guys. It seems as if Mr.
But,
Cole is not hearing me. I'm not.
hello?
Hello. Hello. All right, guys. It seems as if he is not
Watch the basketball
hearing
again.
me. Hello. Mic check.
Hello?
Hello. All right, guys. He
Something
is
going wrong.
not hearing me. I'm not sure why. Uh, he's not.
Where's score?
Are you hearing me, Mr. Cole? Hello. All right, guys. He's not hearing me. I think there's a problem
Should have
from his
restream.
side. Mr. Cole, I'm not hearing you. Oh, come on.
Where's score, Ryan?
Uh, are you hearing me, Mr. Cole? Check,
What's
check,
his name? What's his name?
check. All right,
Foundation
guys.
guy,
He
the
is
man.
not hearing me. So this is he is he is not hearing me, guys. He's not hearing me. Guys, are you hearing me? Can someone please let me know in the chat? Please. All right, I'm asking him to reconnect. All right, let's see now.
Yes, we're back again.
Hello. Hi, Mr.
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah, we're here.
Yes, you're hearing me now.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Awesome. It seems as if there was a problem with your connection. Okay. My next question to you is you're from Kingston. You went to Kingston College, then to Campion College. How did you make your way to Hayes Clarendon at Very Technical? How did you get to Clarendon from Kingston? What
Okay, that's a story. That's a history.
I would love to
um,
hear a part of it.
okay, okay, so there was a famous sports writer who wrote a magazine. It's very famous in Jamaica in those days by the name of Foggy Barres. He wrote the most prominent sports magazine in the country in that period of time. Himself Herald Townsend were the editors for our Sports Life. So Foggy was a, um, someone who I respected. That is someone who always encouraged me from I was playing coach football. And what happened is that when I left Kingston College, I went to Campion College. Foggy Boys started, he was upset, and he said he went to my father and said, we need to get this man. And I mean, this man should not be staying at a school like that. We need to get him out there to, let the people see him play. Because Campion College was not a granted school at that time. Didn't was playing in the Man Cup football and things like that. So he was a bit um, not complicated, but he was perturbed by I'm not being playing in the schoolboy competition, and coming in the eyes of the public. So he came to my father with the idea. No, he spoke with, no, he came to my father and asked him, said he would have to get me to go back to so one of the schools that plays in the schoolboy competition. But my father wasn't up to that. My father was strict, he's a Catholic, and I was going to a Catholic institution and things like that. And my father wasn't into it at all, but he went to himself and Derek Tompkins, who was a coach at that time at Very Technical. He used to coach at Jamaica College, an Englishman, and he was one of the famous coaches in that period of time, because he won the Costa Cup. I mean, he won Manning Cup at Jamaica College and the Oliver Shield and things like that. So he went to Veer, and he was there. So he was building his team. And himself and Foggy was apparently had a good relationship. So Foggy was introduced him to me, and then, as I said, Foggy went to my father. He had problems with it about the transfer and problems. And then finally my mother stepped in and said, okay, let him send him to the country and let him, get out of the city. And, my mother, she didn't talk much, but when she spoke, she had that voice. So
Mm-hmm.
she managed to lure my father to getting me to accept the challenge. So I went to Veterinary 19, September 1965.
Yes, sir, you sure did.
And then I exploded after that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Making the national team at age 15,
Yeah,
16.
15 years and 3 months.
Yes, right. You,
It is still, I think it's still a global record. What happened is that the federation at that time did not register it with the institution. What name of the institution again?
the JFF.
Yeah, they should have put it present to the what is the name of this?
Oh, to world to FIFA.
No, not to FIFA though. FIFA had that, but to this famous institution. What's the name of the institution again? That keep all these collection of all these history. What's the name of the institution again? Anyhow, they should have formally sent it out, but apparently I don't know why they didn't do it.
So you are not in that database as one of the
It
youngest.
Yeah, it should have been there, but the federation did do it, but it's still there. I mean, that's what I mean. It is something that can be proven. It's not something that is false.
Yeah.
So I'm still the youngest player still ever to represent a national football team.
Indeed. I mean, you are the youngest to have played on a football senior team
A
internationally.
national a national football team.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, on the planet,
Where
so far.
right. And you also you played against, was it Brazil that you played against?
No, no, I played professional football in Brazil. I played professional football in Brazil. I was probably the only player from the Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
in that period of time, and few from probably one of the cheap players out of Central Latin America that plays professional football in Brazil.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
And this was like during the 1960s,
No, no, no. That's 1970, 71,
70s.
72. Yeah, 71, 72. And I left there 73. Yeah.
Tell us a little
Maybe
bit
you,
about.
maybe you weren't born then.
No, I wasn't born yet. No, I wasn't. But tell us a little bit about that journey, Mr. Allan, from playing for Kingston College, playing for Veer Technical, winning the Olivier Shield and all of those things, and now playing national and international. Tell us a little bit about your career.
Well, it is. You just had it out. You had it already.
You say I've said it all, right?
Yeah, yeah. It just
But what was it like playing in a foreign country, though?
well, exciting,
Mm-hmm.
challenging. You know, of course, you know that period of time when I went there, um, Brazil was the top footballing nation in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and that league was probably the best league, top league in the world at that time. You know, but as I said, it was very competitive. You had some of the greatest players that played in that era. Um, was present in that league in that time. You know, Pele, the Rivellini, and the Gerson, Carlos Alberto.
Did you play against Pele at any time?
My dear, I'm really surprised that he didn't go and read history and ask
I
me
did.
this
I did.
question. So why ask me those questions?
I did. I
I'm
want you to tell the
no,
people.
but he asked me a question like that. You should, I mean, I play. I mean, it's a known thing. I mean, asking me that question, like he probably should have asked me someone and you
All
know, I
right.
don't
What was
like to
it
repeat
like?
those things.
What,
It's
what
like
was it
asking
like?
me something that's I
All
mean,
right.
it's just, it's repetition.
What was
Yeah,
it
everybody
like
know.
then?
Everybody knows I played against him. So
I don't
asking me
think
that question,
everybody
like,
knows, sir. I don't think everybody
but
knows
yeah, well, okay. So I played in Brazil. I played against all the top players in the club,
in the club league.
in the club league and things like that. You know, so as I said, it was very interesting, and as I said, it was some of the greatest players in that period of time. You know, I was privileged to play against all of these great players in that
Hmm.
period of time. And as a Jamaican, when I went to Brazil and I started getting all these headlines, they they used to ask me I remember on national television asked me what part of where's Brazil? I mean where's Jamaica? And I had to show them where it is. I guess look, and there's Cuba there, and I showed them and say, oh my gosh. So like some people didn't know where Jamaica was, or So it was it was very exciting
They
because
thought that Jamaica was in Africa.
no, I don't know if they had that perception. But what happened is that the headlines was always they didn't say nothing. It was the Jamaican or
Hmm.
Jamaican or Jamaican, all the headlines. So um, I was privileged to be one of the first Jamaicans to have gone there and you know got in the eyes of the public, if you want to put it that way. It
Hmm.
was I think it was special. You know, it was special because being the first um, what do you call it now, ambassador for sports to play professional football in that country, it was something special. You know, and of course, Brazil is to me is the Brazilians, I should say, are the most pathetic fans and the most excited football fans I've ever played in front of. There's something special.
Wow. Before we go any further, Mr. Cole, uh, Tony P is saying the records is the Guinness Book of Records. I think that's what maybe you were trying to remember.
Yeah, the Guinness Book of Record. Yeah, that's
Right,
what they should
right.
have. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that, Tony P. Darty Scott Genius is saying, thank you, Mr. Cole, for putting Veer on the map. We really appreciate it. Thanks to Foggy Barras and Mr. Ben Francis, two people I was very close to. Damian Powell is also saying, I did not know that you played against Pele. You see what I'm telling you, Mr. Cole? A lot of these people don't know, younger people don't know these stories,
Okay, okay,
but
okay.
good stuff, good stuff, good stuff all the way. But just to go back to you a little bit, You have played in Brazil, you have played in Jamaica, you've played in the United States.
Sorry. I
Mhm.
also I played in Africa. I lived in Africa for 4 years, and I played in Africa down in Ethiopia. I played down there. I coached down there, and I played there down there too. During the
Tell us
set.
a little bit about Africa
Okay.
and your experience in Africa.
Well, the journey in Africa was something special, something like I can never forget. Um, sometimes things happen that you don't even know how it happened.
Mm,
It was our day to happen, I should say, because
right.
I went there just for say I was going there for 3 weeks, end up spending almost 2 months short of 4 years, and so I got involved first coaching a little team out in the province, way outside of the city. Went to a game with the brothers them down there, out Shashamane, way down south, and just time of the revolution. And they had this Ethiopia ticket them cup playing this Ethiopia ticket them Ethiopia first. So they had these revolution, so they put a lot of emphasis on sports. So football and track were their main focus. So I
Mm-hmm.
went to this game with the brothers, and it was in like it was the December 1976. Yeah, it was about the 30th of December 1976. And I went there. The Sunday I went there with the brothers and saw we went on the border. It was Shashamani, it's part of Shore, where Jamaican community. So we went like 15, 20, 30 kilometers down and went to the new province, which is called Sedamo. So I went to watch the game down there. It was crowded, but because of the revolution, when we went to games, we had to stay together. So about 8 of us went on the bus and went. It was a 10 minutes drive. So after the game was over, we stood in a car, like near to the gate, waited for the other brothers to come and join us because some of them went to some other part of the football field to talk to some people. So we were there, the people, the crowd was coming out, and five of us were standing up, and then we saw this brother by the name of Pilot. He was a brother who came out of England. He's a Jamaican, but he lived in England, and he was one of the one of the pioneers that repatriated to Africa. So we saw him coming down with these soldiers and walking with them, and we sort of got a little scared. But he was walking like with a young man, speaks English, and all these soldiers with these guns around him. It was the commissioner of sports for that province. But they had just lost the game 1-love to the
All
with
right.
that. He said,
Mm-hmm.
I just all of a sudden Pilot came up and said, this is the man. And I was shocked. I was saying, what the hell is happening here? I don't know what is happening. So I said, I was stunned. And so the young man came to me, probably in his young 20s, and he said, he introduced himself and said he's in charge of sports, the area is commissioner. Anyhow, he said, I hear that you you understand this game and you played it and whatever. Pilot to them all kind of story. So he said, we have a little problem. I wonder if you could help us. I said, I don't know. Let me hear. So he said, we just lost a game and we have to return game, and you know our emphasis is on football and whatever. So can you help us? And I said, oh my gosh, no. I said,
Okay, Mr. Allen is having some technical problems there, guys. But if you're just joining us, the great Allen Skill Cole is in the building.
yeah,
Mr. Cole, can you hear me?
yes, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you.
Oh, you're hearing me? All right. I want you to put. Can you push back a little bit from your phone? Yes. Awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead now.
Yeah, so,
Continue with. Yeah.
so we had a meeting the Monday, and the meeting was all about now. I had to ask him some questions, and I said, if you can get these things in place, he had a game, the return game in about 3.5 weeks' time, he said, or 4 weeks' time. So I said, and I had to travel like 160 kilometers to go to a province called Gamogofa. It's very far, as you know. And then now, what happened is that I said, well, if you can put these things together, and I can get it to pay them. I think you can beat that team. He said, you sure? I said, okay, let me try. So I started coaching there, and then it's told that we start winning. That team started winning down in that region. So I spent a year down there with them and said, okay, let me go and try Addis Ababa. Because Addis Ababa football is very, very big there. You know, you have all these coaches from Yugoslavian coaches and all different coaches in there. So I decided to go in there and look at the teams. We had to go to the same at 3 o'clock. The games, the curfew was like 5:30. Everybody had to be, what do you call it? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes.
You still hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing
Fenda.
you. Are you hearing me?
Fenda.
All right. It sounds like
Ryan.
like he's having a problem there with the audio. Seems as if he's having some technical difficulties. I'm not. Yeah, his audio is chipping in and out, guys. But yes, the great Alan Skillcole out of Kingston, Jamaica. From Jamaica to Africa to Brazil to the United States. So he has traveled to how many continents is that? Africa is one, Brazil is South America, and of course, the United States is North America. So he has traveled the world a bit in playing and coaching.
Good call,
Uh,
man.
Mr.
So
Allen,
you come
Mr.
back, come back.
Allen, are you
Yeah,
hearing
man, me know,
me?
man, but more.
All right, we're having some problems there, guys. You know, these things do happen. You know, these things do happen. When you want something to run smooth, sometimes it just. All right, Mr. Allen, can you hear me now? Check, check. Are you hearing me, Mr. Allen?
I can't hear. Can you
Check,
hear
check,
me?
check, check. No. Check, check. Are you hearing me? All right, I'm not. Mr. Allen, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Hey, we can't hear you. Hold on.
Check, 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 check. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop him and hopefully he will return to us. I think, all right, let us see if he's back.
I'm here now.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, awesome. I'm not sure what is going on with your connection, but it keeps, okay. Oh, yeah, just sit back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let us continue. But let me ask you, Mr. Allen, before you started coaching, did you know anything about coaching football before these people throw you in the deep?
If I know anything about coaching football,
Yes, before they throw you in the deep.
listen to me now. Football has been my life.
Awesome.
So for me to tell you if I'm coaching, it's you
So
know
you played
what
and you
my
coached.
listen what I'm going to tell you now. Not everybody that plays the game
True,
part, okay?
true, true, true.
Okay. But I think I'm fortunate that I can impart and I understand the game so that it makes it a little bit easier for me. So what how I get my things together now that when I got the opportunity, it was something that I always dreamed that I was going to do because I know that um, I can do what did I say? I can do it as good as anyone can do it. So
Yep.
with that, I started to put my experience and everything together, and it worked. So as I said, we won the competition. Um, of course, we unfold some talent, unfold a youngster who was eventually went to play for the under 19 team, Ethiopia national under 19 team. You know, and as I said, and then I went to Addis Ababa and said, let me get involved with the big guys. And then I finally went to a team by the name of Ethiopian Airlines, my one of the Division One team in the country. But they weren't doing too well when I went there. They were like coming to the first round. They were like second to last coming up to the first round. So I joined the team started training. I was assistant coach to the coach who was there are two national coaches in the country at that time, and this coach that coached the Ethiopian Airlines unit I went to. He was one of the two coaches that ran the national program. He was a former player too. So I was supposed to be I was his assistant. So what happened is that so I was in good condition because I was training when I was down in the province. I trained the boys in the morning. I did all the training with them. So I kept myself in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So so I managed to start training with them and things like that. So second one started, as I said, we were second to last. But what happened is not at the meeting when I joined the team. I had a meeting with the president and the brigadier was in charge of the Tiffany Alliance and all these club members and the coach and things like that. So we supposed to work together, okay? But we started training and I was there. People started getting excited. People started coming out of the office and they started turning the place got the word got around and training session was like a half a game. People were there like from the offices, all people coming. And if you have an airline, it's big complex. 100 of people employed. So like when we start training at 3 o'clock, nobody work until
Wow.
you know. So anyhow, so we started the journey there. But what happened now? I'm in training and I was observing a lot of things. I'd like to talk to the coach, but the coach was a little bit snobbish, so I didn't pay him no mind. But what happened is that there was Africa Cup, the other game in Egypt, Africa Cup game in Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to leave the team with me and join the next coach with his squad. So we had two players on our team that were the captain for the national team was the captain of the team that I was with there. So he left for he left us for like about 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks, and I had the team for myself now. And then I started doing my thing.
You were the boss.
Yes, and then we started playing practice games, and we were winning games because what I'm the Division One competition had a little break because of the Africa Cup. So I had 4 weeks preparing these guys and playing games with the teams, and we were winning. So when he got back now, obviously the team improved. So when he got back, the management called a meeting with him. So I went. I was coming into training this the evening, and there was a meeting there, and they said, "There's a meeting, Mr. Allan. We're not going to start training. Can you just um, relax a little?" So I was on the outside, and we're there 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's unusual. So like after 6:30 now, well, I know training. We're not going to have no training that day. So they came out of the meeting and the coach jumped in his car and just drive out. So I said, that's just strange. He didn't say nothing to nobody and he drive out. So the president came over and a couple of the members of the executive members came over and said, well, Mr. Allan, um, I, we want you to be in charge of this team for us now. So I was looking at him and said, what is happening? So when I got to understand what happened is that what happened is like when they had him in a meeting and they were telling him that listen, this man's supposed to be your assistant and every evening after training you and him supposed to dialogue and things like that. But we've been watching, observing and nothing has been happening. You just come in and you just do what you want to do and you're gone and things like that. Anyhow, this team has improved since you left us and we want you to understand that you and this man got to work together.
Right.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Jump away and went away, and that was it. So I took the team, and we couldn't get to we were so far behind, but we saved relegation, and we didn't get to win the national champions. We just played between the champions of Addis Ababa and the champions of Eritrea. That's how they defined the champion of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is that our team, there's a league that play now. That after the competition finish, there's a league that they play now. What they call a winter league, where they take out the two champions of the kingdom. Don't are not what do you call it now? They're not included. So we have to play now. All of us have to play, and the team that comes second and second to last will be relegated, and two teams that come in from Division Two will come to the first division. Anyhow, long story short, we won that competition, and we won by far. So so that get very popular in Addis Ababa because the team
Wow.
start winning,
Mm-hmm.
and then we took that team. There was an Afro tournament that we entered, All African Nearlines competition, and we went to the finals and lost to the Cameroon team in the final in Sudan in overtime, which was very controversial.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that when we went to the finals, everybody was sort of shocked, because they didn't expect us to reach the finals. But we sort of implemented that program. A program, and the management went in it, and it worked. We put the boys in the players in hotels and got leave from their employers and things like that. Most of them employed the airlines and others. All of the players who represent the club, you know, have a very good job. So we were able to get them to properly prepare them, and we created a lot of upset. We went to Zambia, upset the Zambians. Everybody was surprised. We went to Lagos, and we surprised everybody again. And, we went and win. We went to the finals in Cameroon and Sudan, and that was the next.
So
And it was a history again. It was something special again. What and let me share it with you.
you
It,
were created waves in Africa, man.
yeah. So what I'm in Sudan. Let me tell you what I'm in Sudan now. At this final. So we were there playing this Cameroon team, and we it was 1-1, and there was a little mix up between the captain, and on the center, one center half, and I went there and parted them and talk, and the referee came up and gave me a red card, and
But that
I,
does.
I but I'm telling you what I'm now. This is what I'm on the night of the in the night at that finals. Every time I pick up the ball, well, I start. I say every time, but I got going, and the stadium was the people there just enjoy what I was doing. And every time I pick the ball, there was just something in the stadium. So when the referee gave me the red card, I was amazed. I didn't know what was happening. At that time, I had long, long, long dreadlocks. My locks was longer than this.
Was
So I
that
was
when
one.
you call it quits?
Pardon?
Was that when you call it quits and
No,
decided that you're done?
no, no, no. No, I said
Okay.
the referee all said to say I should give me the red card. So I was coming out of the field and and the people them start to a buckle. The people them started to a buckle. I went inside his underground. I went inside the underground, and everybody was wondering. My coaching staff, everybody was wondering what took place. And the people them wouldn't stop throwing the bottle. And the soldiers and the police had to ask me to come outside to wave to the people and ask them to stop. So I'm saying to myself, why should I go there and wave to the people? Anyhow, I decided to go there and ask the people to stop, and the people still throw the back and finally stop. So we lost in overtime too on that final, but it was very controversial.
I
All,
I read something. I'm not sure if it's true. I want you to tell me if it's true. I read something that said when you were playing for Nautica, I think that's the name of the team, in your second season, while you were hot and everything was going good for you, you just call it quits and decided that that was it. Is that true?
no,
What
let me
what
tell you,
happened there?
let me tell you what happened now. First, After we qualified for the national championships. When Brazil, you see,
Mm-hmm.
in club football, the biggest thing for a club is to qualify for what they call the national championships. In other words, you have 26 teams or 20 teams qualify for the national championships from all around the country. Okay? In some confed, like in the city where I live, Pernambuco, Northeastern, we had two space. So our team and a team called Santa Cruz qualified. But my team had qualified since 1959. Nautica qualified since 1959. They hadn't qualified. So when I went there, I brought a little luck, if you want to call it luck. But we qualified, okay? And we won the Governors Cup for Northeastern Brazil. So as I said, when you make it to the national championships, that is the goal of every club in every season, because there's hundreds of teams show the confed,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to qualify. So we made it there. All right. So the report that the club said they made some good money that year. But every year it's like they have election. Those clubs have election, and you have executive changes, and you have new management. Different people come in. It all depends. It's like politics. You know, investors come in. So when we went back there now, this new director. Apparently, he never like, I don't know. It seemed to me that he wasn't fond of my ear.
You
But
being a Rasta.
yeah, but my ear was part of the attraction. See if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you when you read the clippings, the report, they used to call when they say the Jamaican and they're going down on the right, they mention about the ear. They say there's a phrase that they use that what they call in Portuguese. They say cabelo or something like that, which means the man, the not fear man. You understand? But it was it was part of me,
Right, right.
and the people got curious. The first time I them in that part of the road, they saw him and them type of year, and it was getting heavier and heavier. So apparently this man now, he don't like my hairstyle and look like he was those places are full of, it's a Roman Catholic country.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, I know it apparently it's like him never like my hairstyle and start talk something and I said enough foolishness from them.
And
Because
you're not cutting your hair.
I couldn't talk, him couldn't talk to me like that. So yeah, and my ears, you can't tell me you must cut my ear. So we just part, we just part.
And after you parted with Nautica, where did you go after that in terms of
Where I am right now.
where you are right now?
Yeah,
Jamaica,
yeah.
nowhere like home.
You're going to leave you.
Nowhere like home. Wow. But let me ask you, I read something again, as I said, I did my research, and it said that after you parted with your club prematurely, you took on another chapter where you became the road manager for the
No, no,
legend.
no, 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 no.
Not true, right?
Listen to this now.
Mm-hmm.
1970, farm Tuff Gong, me and Bob Marley farm Tuff Gong, yeah?
What?
Listen to this now, okay?
Story time.
And I became the manager of the Whalers, okay? I was the only man that other person on paper anywhere that managed Bob, Peter, and Bunny. I'm the only one. So we farm Tuff Gong. So that's before I went to Brazil, okay? So I just went to Brazil for a little period at that time. When
Mm-hmm.
I was a manager, I was not a road manager. A road manager is a different thing. People have to tell people I'm a road manager. I'm not a
Yes,
road
that's what I
manager.
read. Yeah.
A
Mm-hmm.
road manager, man, when you go on the road, him in charge of the bag and the this and the that. Me
Set the
was the road
record.
manager. Look
Set the
here.
record straight, Mr.
People them
Pope.
are talking all the while, them don't understand, they know nothing what them talking about. When Dante come in now as the manager of the international man and come in, me I oversee me and Bob personally, we go the world, travel the world together. Okay? I was the man who did certain thing, but I was not a road manager. So that's straight. So I didn't leave and come back and go on music. I was in music before that.
I
Okay?
am I am so happy that
Okay.
you're setting the record straight because I
So
read the article and it says that after you left, you came back and you became the tour
listen,
manager for Bob.
this started news. People don't go and do the research.
Yes,
It is sad that I see it all the while and try to tell people, don't say that. You don't know what the hell you're saying.
taught the
I
things.
was the road manager. Tony Garnett was the road manager when we travel the world. Okay? Then Tony Garnett. So I was no road manager. I'm tired of hearing people saying these things. They
Yes,
don't know nothing. They must go and do the research. It's very, very sad when I hear they speak these things.
yeah, and the
So I was no road manager, okay?
and the people who are writing the article keep
They must go
saying,
and do their research.
so
They're not doing no research.
why don't they
Journalism,
come? Why don't they come and talk to you directly to
listen,
get
yes,
these
listen.
information?
Journalism is about seeking information. Some of these people don't take in information from third and fourth hand people. That's not what it's all
This
about.
is why I
Uh-huh.
like to talk to I like to come to the source and get them to tell the story because I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Cole. I did not know that you were one of the founding members of Tuff Gong. I can tell you that straight up, and I'm sure a lot of people don't did not know that until
Let,
tonight.
let me tell you, I put it on paper. And you talk, one of my friend, one of my bridges I went to at Campion called by the name of David Judah. His father ran the Judah and Denner, famous one of the biggest law firm at that time in the country. And he was my very, very good friend at Campion. And he was the one who set everything up for me. I went down there with me and Bob. And when we formed the company, Peter and Bonnie didn't know till long after we tell them. And I allotted all the shares and everything. That's history. So people
Wow.
don't know that. Okay?
Wow.
Me, the first record on Tuff Gong label, because realized that they went through a lot of problems in the early days, especially when they went independent. So Rastafari, the Rastafari and bridging them with the red, gold, and green label. They weren't getting no plays, airplay, and things and all that, as people who know the history. And then when I came in, everything changed. We started the first song on the Tuff Gong label, Trenchtown Rock, which was Song of the Year on JBC number 2 in Nigeria 1970. And that's where Tuff Gong started. With a 30,000 seller at that time. 30,000 it was like gold in those days. And that's how Tuff Gong, the label Tuff Gong and the company started, okay? And that's it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's
Wow.
it. That's how we do it.
Mr. Cole, you are sharing some information with us tonight that we did not know. The narratives that are out there and the misleading story, as you would say, there's so much of it out there because let me tell you, when I was doing my research on you, every article I read, it says tour manager. After you ended your football career, you became tour manager to Bob. And they said for 1 year. I think the article said for 1 year.
Crazy people.
Wow.
They, they
Tell
don't
me,
know nothing. We travel
you're
the
right.
world. We travel the
Yeah.
world.
And that we're going to let them know the truth tonight because I'm learning the truth now. But tell me a little bit about you and Bob friendship. I mean, it
Well,
funny.
it started when I was going to school. But I was a football fan. And he was a fan of mine. And we used to communicate to a friend of mine who played for Theory by the name of Les Brown, who came from out of Trenchtown, one of the legends of Boys Town. We played on the famous team and said, and Les was one of probably my best friend when I was going to school at Veer. And we used to communicate, because on Sundays, Bob and me used to go to our boys and play football, on Sundays. Sunday morning, those days in Boys Town, man used to play football from at 7 o'clock till 12 o'clock midday Sundays. So when we went home on weekends and from school, Les and Bob and them used to play football and used to communicate with us. So he used to send messages to me and from those old days. So, you know, it's
And then
cemented. It's cemented. And it grew into a friendship that was very close. until, as I said, to the last.
Yeah.
That I was with him all through the struggle in Germany with him, and I hear so much stories coming out, so much fictitious stories
Fictitious stories. Yes.
that a man come there with shoes and this and that peer story. No man a come there. Tell him give Bob shoes to wear and he does this and that. He all this
Yes.
type of story. And I hear some people are walking Bob in the Alps. No go so. It's me and him alone are walking in the Alps a million times. To walk, exercise, bring him back to himself and all those things. I never see nobody. Must see some being whether I don't know about. And I hear articles, see people write articles and say, this was the walk in the Alps, Bob in the Alps and help him recuperate. I never seen none of them. So, these are some of the stories that you hear sometimes and you wonder, where the hell is happening?
Yes. Yes.
So
Because
people, I mean, you see, you have to understand things. You have to understand too. When you become legendary, people try to distort a lot of things, and bring it in because this guy come and tell the people that he was there and he took the shoes and he was this and he was that. And people call me and ask me, I said, foolishness, nothing to over, sir. But it's on social media.
yes.
It's all around the place. And this guy come
Mhm.
out in the press and he gave this shoes to Bob and it was this and that. And oh my gosh, yeah, kind of stories. So,
But you see, I'm wondering if some people did not know the relationship, the friendship, the familyship that you had with Bob, where they could have used you as a reference, as a point of reference to all the negative, to all the narratives.
well,
Even when the movie came out, and it it was just, oh my God.
well, sometimes people people love to get third hand report and fourth hand report. They don't want to come to straight to the.
The source.
That's right. So for some reason I don't know why people. Well, you see what I mean. It becomes that thing like what they call in local colloquial term hustlers. People are hustlers. So instead of coming to the person who you want to talk, who you should come to, you go to other people. Because I remember when I was approached by one of the persons who were involved early on. I was doing some. I was on the beach in exercise, and the girl came to me and said she'd like to ask me some questions about because she's involved in the project. And I said, yeah. And she asked me some questions. I told her, I said, listen, I'm not going to answer no more questions. I'm not going to answer no question because it seems like you're in a different role because you are working in this project and you're supposed to be getting this information. You come to me for information just like that. I mean, I don't understand this. What is it? And then disappeared. They
Nick,
disappeared. And then they did what they said, a document. But, the thing about these things is that people who get involved in these things, they don't even know. I mean, it's just sad when you listen to them.
yeah.
And when I'm listening to them, I just laugh and I walk away because it's just unbelievable.
But you should help to shed some light on a lot of these negative too,
But
Mr.
you see,
Cole.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you what that. Let me share something. There are people there who wants to per, per, portray themselves to be the source of that information center, and what they say is authentic, which for me is bull, because I know them and I used to see them around sometimes, but because we were so close, they couldn't come within that space where we were. We had a special space that nobody could come. Anybody who was around, so the people who were around, who understood and were at the time, would be able to tell them. It would have been difficult for them to come between our space to how we live together and how we move. So I don't really, I'm not going to say to them
Yeah.
because they want the true stories and
Hmm.
the information, which I'm privileged to have
You can tell the real
know the
story.
story because this man tell me everything about his life and nobody but me. And I always query and ask Danny Sims, who was his publisher all the while. I said, Danny, this man, and Bob said, I said, Bob, this man tell me everything, but when you guys come close, he stop talking. Whenever he's telling me his story, me and him alone, and anybody come, he stop. He just stop, and that's it, till another time. And he would never tell nobody. He would never say, when he's telling me his story, if anybody's there, he's not going to tell, he's not going to talk. We drive together, and he tell me his story from a little boy coming up, everything, everything.
Best friends.
And it's not it's not a person who speak to people. It's not a man who's like that. So it always amazed me. And Danny used to tell me before he passed, he said, you know why he keep telling you his story alone? I said, no, tell me, he said, he wants you to write his story.
And that was the next thing I was going to ask you. That was the next thing I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm on that journey right now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I can't wait to read it.
I'm
Yep.
on that journey.
You should. You should. And tell it authentically.
Well, look, there are certain things in life, you don't get to do it one time.
True.
Something of this stature, you have to make sure when you're doing it, that's it. You just do you just hit the nail where you're supposed to hit and just start the shoot.
Did you teach him to play football? Because I realized that he loved the sport very much.
Well, you know, I helped him to improve on his skills and things like that.
Yeah.
I said, we were every day. We were every day.
Yeah.
Training me, eat together, eat together, out together. Everything I do on the field, he wants to do it. Exercise, flicks, he will practice it and try, everything. And he
It
was a
seemed,
football.
it seemed as if,
He was a football fanatic. Yeah.
yeah, it seemed as if Bob Marley was a real down to earth, genuine person. I've never seen. I've always, when I was a little girl, a little baby, I've always said that one day I would love to go to Sunsplash to see him because back then Sunsplash was the biggest thing, and he was the. I think he was the headline, and I've always said. But by the time I get to a certain age, he wasn't with us anymore. He is one of the persons that I really wanted to see perform. But what was it like though? I mean, you in music, a lot of people know you in football, like myself, who is very, very far from you guys, but now hearing that you are a part of entertainment and music and Bob Marley and all that kind of thing. I mean, you're an icon, Mr. Cole.
I'm listening to you. I'm hearing you.
You're an icon. You're an
I'm,
icon.
I'm listening to you.
You're an icon. And I hope you feel that way also. But you didn't play a lot of football, I realize. Why not?
Why I did play a lot of football?
Yeah, for the
Which I did
country.
play a lot of
Yeah.
football?
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
for the country, national team.
Okay. So in my time, because I became a professional at a tender age,
Mm-hmm.
those days that what happened is that the other thing when the period in time when the professionals were not allowed to play in the Caribbean domestic leagues at that time. So I was one of the players as I heard professor we were eligible to play most
Oh,
in that time. And then what happens after in the late 70s I think that sort of
change.
changed. But as I said, I used to watch the guys them play all these what they call it these competition,
Mm-hmm.
elimination and all these things. And I was part of it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not kept much because in those days we didn't have
Yeah.
much competition and I didn't was eligible to play in these things. So, but fortunately, in that period of time still,
Mm-hmm.
I was the drawing coach for football in the country for quite a long period of time. So when I played, the gates went up, and when I didn't play, the gates were minimal. So
Wow. Once your name is mentioned, it is a full house.
They will always get good crowds. Mhm.
Wow. How does it feel to be rewarded? In 2010, you were um, presented a recognition from then Seth Blatter. How does it feel to be recognized? Okay.
Well, it's it felt good. Um, but I wonder why the Jamaica Football Federation didn't give me um, something
And
of
that was
that
going to be
nature.
my next question to
I
you.
just wondered why.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing
She
you.
not hear me.
I'm hearing you. Yeah, I'm hearing
Can
you.
hear
I'm
and
hearing
come
you.
here till I have to check on.
I'm
She can't
hearing you.
hear me.
All
What wrong
right.
with that, man?
All right. I'm hearing you.
We not
Are
hear.
you hearing me?
Touch it.
All right. It seems as if he is not hearing me, but I am hearing him. All right.
Hello?
Hello, 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 hello. Are you hearing me? Wow. Wow, guys, what a story. So you guys, you heard what Mr. Allan just said. He and Bob Marley started Tuff Gong. Yes, yes, he said it.
I'm here. I'm here.
You're here, Mr. Cole? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, awesome. Yes, my next question to you was going to be, have you ever received any award from Jamaica? Order of distinction, any no award from the government? No, none of those?
I must tell you this. Couple about 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago they wanted to give me I don't know what it is, ODRC something
The
like that.
OD, okay, or
But
CD.
I refuse that. That's crazy. That's very insulting to me.
Why did you share with me? Why did you refuse it?
You're going to wait so long? I'm 70 years of age. You should have given me that when I was 19, 18, 20. That's crazy. That's been. I'm not one of those persons who jump like that. I'm not an opportunist. I
Yeah,
think being disrespectful to wait for so long to give me. I give other football players and other players. For me, it's not. It's not worth it. I am well. My generation love me. I
yes,
serve them well, and the one that follow, great. So I don't want a national award. I don't get a national award long time before all of these people. I became a public figure when I was 10 years, about 15, 16. I became in the eyes of the public. I became a public figure. So when you go into it, I'm 70 to give me that. That's crazy. I'm not that type of person.
yeah.
I
It
refuse to take those type of things. That's demeaning to me. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I totally understand, and I
And
totally
I'm not going to put myself in that category. I think I'm past that. I don't want CD and what that doesn't matter to me. I surpassed that. I'm here before all of these people, and my accolades are still the energies are still there. I still remain in the eyes of my people. So I give
still
thanks.
legendary.
I give thanks for that. So giving me those type of things for me is not for me. That's for other people.
During your career, you were known as the most celebrated player of Jamaica. When you hear those words,
It go through 1 year and go to the next one. The problem with people is some people as they start to come in the public domain and they something go some things most of them something get touched up there. And I'm not one of those type of person. Come through there, go through there, still stay on the earth. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? I
yes,
don't leave the earth. I'm a natural person. So when people get carried away when they becomes in the eyes of the public and they get all these different accolades and things like that, it get to them and they no. I'm not one of those persons. I was I was brought up in such a way that these things must come through here and go through there. and keep humble. That's how my father brought me up. So these things don't worry, didn't get to me. You know, that's how I am, and that's how I always will be. You know, these things don't resonate with me at all. I accept it, I will hear what they say, but I don't put that on my platform to get out there and become like them. So what you call it, egotistic or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Allen, I think as a country we wait too long to celebrate our people, and sometimes we celebrate some more than some. So some people will feel not as important as some, and how should we balance that though? Your thoughts on
You know, sometimes you have to look at the human um, nature, the human psyche, as one would say. Yeah, people who have been invested with certain powers to make these cultural what you call it now,
decisions?
decision.
Yes,
There are times that they become too political,
yes,
and they get involved with all kind of different type of things, you know, and it shows up, and people are afraid to come out and speak, you know. But you know, you see some of the people that have been given awards over the years, both governments, I mean both parties, they do it.
yes.
It- and it's to me it's just not acceptable. But as I say, that's the human side of people, you know. So
Do you think the
in saying that, they because of that, because they're being so carnal in their thinking, there are a lot of people who maybe because of some little petty thing, they sort of undermine them. You know, that's it. As I say,
very petty?
that's the
Yeah,
weakness of the human
yeah,
being. So
yeah.
we live with those things, and we
But
understand that.
do you think though, as uh, the federations need to do more? Do you think the federation should be doing more? The different sporting bodies in Jamaica, do you think that they should be doing more in terms of celebrating our our achievers?
Well, you know, you could I tend to agree in some respect that some of them need to be um, more active, if that's the way of saying it. And as you said, that to um, to bring to the fore people who have achieved, you know, teach the children in school, in civics. Like when we were growing up, a little boy in school, we had civic teacher who would teach us about those people that had made contribution in the early days and things like that. I remember those civic teachers were great. They would tell us about the people in the 50s, the Helsinki, the people in the 40s. They tell you everything. They teach you everything. Those that did culture, education, you name it.
Yeah,
Those were the teachers that taught us civic in school. I don't think we are on that type of program right now with the youngsters, coming up in
yes,
school. You know, so that is a little part of it, really. But maybe the governing body could do more. Some of them could do more. You know, I'm not saying that
yeah,
some of them are not doing, but they could do more. I think they could do more. As I said, to um, show appreciation to those that have contributed, achieved, and those who have participated. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's going to be that shine bright in life, but everybody make a contribution. It still adds up. You know what I'm saying? So you could, I think, on that note, what you said, that's something we should think about.
I
Those
have,
those institutions
yeah,
get together.
and do a little bit
Like
more.
in other countries, they are bodies that set up to make sure that certain things are made known to the quote unquote public.
Indeed, indeed. I've been calling for a sport museum for a long, long time. How do you feel about a sport museum?
You need a you need a sports museum. You need a music also. Yeah, you need sports, and you need, but I think you could incorporate both as part of sports and culture. You know, we need an institution like that where you can go in
Yes.
and you can read history.
Mm-hmm,
These
mm-hmm.
musicians who contributed, these you know, whatever. We don't have nothing like that set up in the country. I don't
No.
know why. It's just sad.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
That is something that we hear people talk about, but it has never been
Yeah,
materialized. You know,
yeah.
so those are things that we need.
The two things that made Jamaica famous, music and sports.
Better believe it. Not
The two,
politics. Not
not
politics.
politics. No, not politics. No.
No, only politician that we have had so far in our history that what do you call it?
Made
That
us a little popular.
that made that but that what do you call it now? Brought Jamaica to the fore in the six in the 70s. In the third world was Michael Manley.
Yeah.
He's living in Africa, and I met. I tell you, that man impacted on some of these African leaders. I was so stunned. But as I say, sports and music.
Sports and music, indeed.
That's it. That's it.
Indeed. And
So
we need that, and we need to continue having
I think
that.
one, I think one of the things that people always talk about, especially the the people who the country in our in Jamaica, they call people like what like who stand up for certain things. They call them. I don't want to use the word extreme, but there are some people who stand up for certain things, and because they stand up for certain things, they are sort of penalized
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they're not going to compromise with the truth.
Yeah.
These are some of the things that we have to try to eradicate out of our system so
Mm-hmm.
we can put certain things in place. And it's just man, it's just people hindering these things from happening. Nobody else. People doing it.
Totally agree with you.
So we supposed to be able to solve all those problems. You know. But
It's not that difficult and it's not that complicated.
no, you just have to have people who are determined to make things happen.
Yeah.
And anything you want to make happen, you're going to have a struggle. Because it's so the earth set right now.
Especially if you want it to be done the right way.
Better believe that.
You're always going to have some struggles. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Obstacles.
Obstacles, yes. Challenges, obstacles, yeah.
Everything can't run smooth all the while, you know. So the earth set, you know. Sun don't shine, I mean, sun shine daily, but you have rain too, and the rain don't fall every day.
Wow. Mr. Allan, before we go, let me ask you, are you still in music?
No.
Can you sing?
No, I used to sing when I like a
Sing
boy,
a,
but
sing a song for me, Mr.
no,
Allan.
no.
No, Mr. Allan, just one
I'm not
line.
a singer. Oh, no, when I was a youngster, I used to love singing, but I'm not in singing again.
Which Bob Marley song is your favorite?
All of them.
No, man, just tell you must have. Tell me which one is your favorite.
Why I have so much.
I like Exodus.
That's a good song. There are so many songs. I don't know what to say. I just know that he has composed some songs that
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it's just special.
yeah,
Bob Marley,
yes,
two greatest songwriters of the century.
indeed,
When they pen the music, you listen to them. I don't know which one, who to say, which of the songs are to me their best song. But it's just fascinating.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But
If you want to hold a real mince, just play a Bob Marley song for real.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it fit in the occasion, in the mood you want to.
yes, yeah,
His lyrics are is like good food.
yeah. What was it like when you guys were doing road together? Who would get the most attention? You or Bob, the baller or
No, no,
the
no, no, no.
singer?
Come on, come on. This is music business now. You're touring and music. Come on, man. Come on. All the focus is on. We put all the focus on Bob.
Yes.
You know what? I just tell him. You know, when we started um touring the last the last time after the Wheelers and Massa, we started the new deal with Blackwell and Dante that came in, and we started the new journey. So we saw all these people coming and taking photographs, you know. And after the show, baby, we in the room by ourselves together. I said, why? Those you don't come in and picture them walk. So I said, you're a thing, man. You're a thing.
Wow.
That's the
Wow.
thing. Say you're a thing. Because you know, lot of celebrity come around and they're calling them just. I say you're a thing. I'm not into that. I'm not
Wow.
the type of person that, you know,
Wow.
I'm just not that type of person. You know. I remember I could call somebody need that come by and when they come and talk, I introduce it. When they want to move away. I say, you're a thing, do your thing. That's it. His thing.
Yes,
You know?
indeed. Indeed. You let him have his moment.
That's the thing. I'm
Oh,
not into that
yeah.
type of thing. Your time now, let's get going. But
Yes.
every time it be sure, we sit down, both of us, and I have to give him my full opinion. You don't want nobody else tell him nothing about his performance.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
don't. He would go to nobody, nobody,
And you
nobody.
would tell him the truth, right? You tell him
The
straight up.
only man from the first night we started that new journey 1974. When it came out, so finish the encore and everything, and then meet everybody. We might hotel we start together now. Eat and sit and what they say now. Out go. What do you think? You know, like a smile, you know. And I start analyzing until get in there, you know. Some nights it was explosive, you know. And I would tell you, boy, this one was good tonight. This one was power excellent, you know. So
And you guys have traveled to most of the continents, right? You've done Africa, you've done Asia.
no, we didn't do Africa.
Oh, you
But
didn't do Africa?
no, only part of Africa, Bob, it was Gambia. Did I show it done not in Gambia, in it's a bongo space there, Gabon, and the show in Zimbabwe, which when he came to Addis Ababa, when he came to Ethiopia to look for me,
Mm-hmm.
we organized that we organized that show in Zimbabwe because the brothers they were all of those the members of ZANU and ZAPU party that were fighting against the apartheid system, which was run by ZANU was run by Mugabe and ZAPU was run by Nkomo. So those were the two political parties that were fighting for the liberation of Rhodesia at that time for it became South Africa. So those they trained in Addis Ababa, all those brothers. So they gravitated to us as Jamaicans,
Mm-hmm.
and we got that band and we were very close. So, as a matter of fact, when I went to pick up our the airport, two of the pilots, the guy that fly airplane from Zimbabwe, and two of the engineer, my friend Johnny Emmett, and two pilots, they were with me when I went to pick up our the airport with a couple, four more Jamaican brothers, and then we started the conversation, and then the song came out with a brother who wrote the song, gave Bob it, and Bob started playing the guitar, and they heard it, and they love it, and that's how the tour came into being in Zimbabwe, right in Addis Ababa there.
Wow. What a story.
It
What?
is a story. You're going to read about it. I know you're going to read the book.
I can't wait. I can't. No, seriously, I can't wait to hear. Because let me tell you, Mr. Allan, as I said before, by the time I get to, I wasn't even a teen when he passed away. So I don't know nothing about the man. I only hear stuff here and hear stuff there. And you now sharing this little bit about him, it seemed to me like he was a cool guy. Nothing bother him or anything like that. He was actually like that. He seemed very cool and relaxed and not into the whole heap of Ray. Was he that type of person? I know this is your interview, but I know he's your best friend and you guys did a lot. But just tell me that little part about him. Was he just cool and calm and what type of person was he?
Not a man that talk much.
I figure that.
But when I say not a man that talk much, he was in his early days. He didn't speak much, but I got him to come out of that type of what do you call it now? That type of style because how he grew up, you know. So he was a man that didn't talk much until, but I managed to get him out of that and he became more vocal after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he was somebody that if you listen to him, listen how he speak, you realize that he was a very unique human person,
Yeah.
full of patience
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and very confident, believe in himself.
Yeah.
That was his very strong point. And he was psyche, you know. People didn't know that. Yeah, he was psyche.
Wow.
He used to
Bob
read,
Marley.
he used to read poems when he was a little boy.
Wow.
Yeah. But
If he was here today, what do you think the music industry would be like?
I can't answer that question. It would be impossible for me to answer a question like that. People will go and try to answer those type of questions. Crazy.
Yeah.
How could I answer a question like that? I
Yeah.
could never. People who go to that type of thing, I think
That's true. That's true.
you go beyond yourself.
Yeah.
I could never answer a question like that. It would be just I don't go there. That
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretending like
You
you
know, you
you,
know.
you don't know.
Yeah,
I don't challenge those things.
yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't tell you. You know?
yeah.
People
Hmm.
ask me that if it was, what do you think I say?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How
Whatever
could I
whatever
know?
our opinion of that is just an opinion.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You have to be real. You gotta make no story. Oh, you gonna know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Somebody's asking,
You know
somebody
what tomorrow. You know what's the sun going to shine tomorrow.
true, that's true. Somebody's asking what is the timeline on the publication? When will we see that publication out?
Believe you
Because
me.
like
Believe you me. Listen to me now. My writer tells me by September.
September this year?
That's what the writer is saying. But
Awesome.
I think it is going to be more the end of the year. But he says, but I'm saying end of the year. So
I know you don't want to give away anything from the book, but what is the title?
you
Give
know,
us Mr. Cole, give us something, man.
sir. I'm trying to come up with a title once and then I change it. So
You're
right,
taking suggestions?
if I'm taking suggestions,
Yes.
no, not really, not really.
Not really? Okay.
No,
So
I'm just in
do you
my zone. I'm in my zone,
yeah.
and I'm trying to get. It is something that I always give it anyway, but I decided to change
Mm-hmm.
because naming a book as ours is very important
Yes,
as
yes,
what is written in there because
yes.
some names are very attracting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still
Looking at names. You're
I'm
still
still here.
brainstorming.
I'm still here, but I'm not taking no advice from no one to give me no name.
I get
Nobody,
you. I get you.
yeah, no, no, I don't
I
want.
get you.
That have come from inside here, so.
Yes,
That
that's
have come
true.
from here.
Somebody's asking where will it be available? Do you know if it will be like on Amazon,
It's going to be all around. Don't
all
worry.
around?
It
Okay.
will be well, it will be well publicized.
Okay. Awesome.
Because
Awesome.
hopefully, it's from that it should evolve a movie. The movie.
The I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there, Mr. The movie, the real movie. Whoa, I love it. I love it. Mr. Allan, you know what I want you to do when that book is out? I need you to sign a copy and put it down for me. I need your signature in that book.
All right, no problem.
Yes, sir. Please remember, I need that.
All right. So
Just sign it to HP. But I like what you're
it's not the first person um
that want you to autograph it.
that they want.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. You
quite
should
a few persons have inclined.
look here. When the book publish, I'm going to bring you back here to promote it,
All
and
right.
you need to have a launch where we can come and get the book signed by
Yeah, man,
you.
yeah, we're going to have when this book is coming, we're going to have a launch everything.
Awesome,
It's going to be
awesome,
real.
awesome. And I want it to be real because I'm not going to get into that still, but I want
You
it to be
might tell
real.
you, I don't explain to you already.
Yeah.
There are certain things in life you only get to do one time.
Yes, I agree, sir.
So,
I agree.
simple. All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just do it and done. But Mr. Allan, thank you very much. I know that we had a lot of challenges to get you here, but I am happy that you were able to be here. Thank you very much, sir. And
Give,
we will talk soon, okay?
okay, give thanks.
Okay, take care.
Bless.
Guys, that was Mr. Allan Skillcole telling us a little bit about his story and, of course, sharing a little bit about his relationship, his friendship, his familyship with the great legendary Bob Marley, who many of us don't know much about, including myself. When Bob Marley died, 1980 or 81, I think, I was just a little toops, so I didn't get to know anything about the man. I mean, I've read stuff, I've heard stuff, but this is just amazing finally getting Mr. Allan on and listen to him. And as he said, and he's annoyed, and I understand why he's annoyed, and he has all right to be annoyed because journalists keep writing articles that he was a road manager, a tour manager. He is actually one of the founding members of Tuff Gong. He and Bob Marley formed it together as friends, and he was very instrumental in Bob's career. And of course, he told us a little bit about it. So it was good that he came on. We waited an hour and a half for him, kind of thing, but it was worth it because, of course, now we get to know a little bit more about Allan Skillcole, the man, and Bob Marley, who Bob Marley was. And of course, a lot of people were asking me, were saying that he did not play a lot for Jamaica, and he just explained that the reason why he did not play a lot for Jamaica, he was a professional, and professionals were not allowed to play back then. So, it was good getting that interview with Mr. Cole because at one point I was wondering if I would have to catch him in person because of the technical problems we were having. He was supposed to be here weeks ago and we could not get the connection to work, but thank God he made it tonight. And I want to thank Rainford Hunter from WCAMG for getting him in the chair. And of course, he gave us a little piece. And of course, the book is coming out. His book will be coming out, and of course, it will have to do with his story and his relationship with Bob Marley. And he said the real story will be coming out, and of course, the real movie will hopefully come. So, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for staying with us. Normally, I would have been finished already, but of course, we started late. But it was worth the wait. And thank you all for being here. Margaret Bell, Thank you very much for all those questions. Conrad Smith, thank you also for being here. Football One was here. Damian Maxwell, thank you for being here. Next week, you guys will see Damian Maxwell in this chair. Of course, Damian is a part of the Masters League, Jamaica Track and Field Masters League. Thank you for being here. Devon Porter was also here. Ivan Tate was also here. Thank you very much, Ivan, for being here. Who else was here? Dorothy Scott Genius, formerly of Beer Technical Olympia 1980, 1984 was here. Tony P, who reminded us that the organization is Guinness Book of Record. Marlene Green was also here. Vonnie M was also here, 1972, 1976 Olympian for Jamaica and Canada. Also, we had Tamika. Tamika was here. Thank you very much, Tamika, for being here. Rainford Hunter, I'm sure he was and is watching. Thank you very much for getting Mr. Allan here. Monica Lewis was also in the building. Thank you, everyone, wherever you tuned in from, whether you're in Africa, Asia. I know that Damian Maxwell was watching from Thailand, and in Thailand now, I think it is about 9 a.m. Friday morning. I think it is about 9 or 10 a.m. now, Friday morning. So Damian Maxwell was watching. So Thailand was in the building. And Africa, thank you. Asia, thank you. North America, South America, Antarctica, Oceanic. Thank you all for being so patient that we could have gotten this done. And this is a part of the HP Chat Track Studio program, special guest. And of course, this month, for the month of May, our special guest was Allan Skillcode, one of Jamaica's legendary footballers, making Jamaica national team at age 15, the youngest to have done it, formerly of Kingston College, Campion College, and Veer Technical. Mr. Allan Skillcode, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and join me next week when we will do this all over again. I'm not sure who my special guest will be for June, but of course, we will have someone in this chair. Thank you very much. Vonnie M is saying this was amazing. Was indeed amazing, because we get to learn about Allan Skillcode, a little bit about Allan, and also a little bit about Bob Marley, because a lot of us don't know much about Bob apart from the little that we read. But to get it from the source is even more and more fulfilling. So tonight, I can tell people that I learned a little bit more about Bob Marley from his good friend, Allan Skillcode. Guys, until next time, until next week, I will see you guys next week. And remember, please have a great weekend and be safe. And remember, Mr. Allan's book is coming out. And of course, I'm going to bring him back, hopefully, for him to promote his book and tell us where we can get it. And as he said, it will be everywhere. And I'm assuming it will be on Amazon. So guys, take care. Have a great weekend. And thank you again for being so patient and staying with me until we were able to get Mr. Allan at 9 p.m. Thank you guys very much. Have a great weekend and be safe. God bless you all.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio, where track and field is our